show you this one once. The song goes like this. You ready? Yeah. أهواك وأتمنى لو أنسى وأنسى روحي عجل وضاعت الأفكار لو تنساني.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Mitchell from the Ethics Department.
Oh, wait.
Hey, what you have here is an ethical dilemma. A, first off, you have Dr. B, who's covering for Dr. C. Now, he's torn because he took the Hippocratic Oath. Now, A, what you really should consider, and what you all should take out of this is Dr. B, who's really friends with Dr. C over here. He's really representing Mr. D. Now, what is the ethical question really here? The ethical question here is what? What's the ethical question? The ethical question really is this. Let me explain it to you. Should Dr. Bob represent Mr. C, who's good friends with Dr. B, and he knows he did the exact same oath, the Hippocratic Oath? Should he really cover for his buddy? When we all know that it took Nurse J, who's over here, she went to speak with her floor tech K, who's somewhere in the back. Ultimately, they went to the nurse supervisor. Do you understand?
Dr. Mitchell, you completely confused all of us with this alphabet soup. Can you just leave?
Okay.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Sensakovic.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. That was certainly very interesting. I just want to thank everyone for putting on a wonderful Christmas show once again. It was truly excellent. Every day, as I drive up the parkway and pass by some 37 hospitals, my wife asks me, "Why do you keep doing what you are doing?" And I always say, it's the students and the residents and the fellows at this institution. Will all the students please stand up? Students, come on.
Students, stand up, come on. Come on, students.
Don't
be shy. Stand up, come on.
Okay.
Yes.
These are our bread and butter. Please never forget. Door, am I forgetting anything?
No, you're fine.
I think that's everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, actually, in light of all the information that we have here, I have to rule in favor of, actually...
Hold on, sir! How dare you make a decision
Who's that?
without hearing my side of the story? Everything that you heard here was a lie. This is a theatrical version of actually what was on. Let me enlighten you. First off, the student comes here. The patient comes to the ER. The ER attending actually that night, he ordered a lot of food. Enough to feed all of South Africa. He eats the food. Then he orders 3 donuts for desserts. 2 Boston cream, 1 French curler because he wants to cut down. While he is sleeping, the medical student goes to see the patient. The ER attending is sleeping somewhere on the side. Obviously. Do you agree? Whether this or that. Look. The student goes to see the patient. He is lost because John Sensakovic accepts these students that are lost. This one was the O, so it's not John Sensakovic's fault. Anyways, the real resident from the medical staff, who John Sensakovic did accept, actually, he goes down, he's upstairs, he orders food too. Everybody was hungry. He sends his medical student, the medical student with the other medical student, like the blind leading the blind, actually. They I don't know what's happening. One of the medical students from the medical staff, he says, last week I remember Dr. Shamoun, he gave lectures. So he says the word Dr. Shamoun, the other student says Shamoun, before you know it, the whole ER like a chorus. Shamoun, Shamoun. With all this, who wakes up? Of course the ER attending. Hungry again. He wakes up, hears Shamoun 100 times. He says, you know what? Bring him to the cath lab, activate lab. I come 3 in the morning, I don't know. I come down. Actually, I didn't see the patient. All I saw was his groin. I saw this much of the patient. All this, I tell you, was just from seeing this much of the patient. Imagine if I gave a history and I actually saw the patient. Whether this or that, this is not the problem. The problem in this hospital is people don't read. None of these residents read. When I went to medical school, back when there were 3 types of diagnosis. Differential diagnosis, provisional diagnosis, and a working diagnosis. You had to actually read, by the end of your first year, you had to read Harrison. Second year, you read Cecil. And then you complete the sandwich with another time with Harrison. 1 second, please. Here in the St. Michael's, they don't read. What they do is they carry some magazine they call Mix-Up. This is a magazine. This is not a textbook. Let me explain that to you. Every year, I actually go and visit Tinsley Harrison's grave, and I place a new edition of the book. He has so much books on his grave, even the George Perez can't read them all. Do you know whose grave is right next to Tinsley Harrison's?
Cecil's.
Actually, no. Cecil is Orthodox Jewish. He is in Long Island. Whether this or that. Now, I'm stuck in a dilemma. You have a medical student who actually made the decision. I want to know what the medical student's name. I want to know his name, his mother's name, his father's name, his mother's name, everybody's name. Finally, when he comes here, I will throw my my left shoe at him. That's fine, whether this or that. Actually, about 2 weeks ago, one of the residents in the hospital stopped on Dr. Shamoun. So I thought, maybe he wants to come and ask me a medical question. I said, let me get ready for this man. He says, Dr. Shamoun, do you mind if I roast you at the Christmas party next week? I look at this man. I was about to kill. I got my hand on my gun, ready to shoot him. I said, well, you know what? Maybe he is an actor. Maybe he's good in acting. Let's bring him here to Christmas. He's obviously terrible in medical knowledge. So here I am. He invites me to a Christmas roast where you have to pay Doreen $84 actually just to come in the door. Then you get to the bar. Medical student from John, they drink all the alcohol. I get a watered down Diet Coke and I sit in the back. Next, the waiters are actually all outside smoking cigarettes. The probability of me of catching them in the next 6 years is 37.2%. You can look it up. Go ahead, look it up. Whether this or that, the residents don't read, okay? Everybody's lost. Now here I'm here, $84 in the hole. Watered down Diet Coke. Drunk medical students to my left. And what else? I have some guy standing in front of me, pretending to be me. And even at that, he is mediocre. Actually, in the 1970s, I actually went to acting school. When I went to acting school, there were 3 types of actors. There were good actors, there were mediocre actors, and there were bad actors. Obviously, the people you see here today are bad actors. It is very obvious to everybody. And do you know what happens to bad actors, sir? Do you know what happens to bad actors?
What happens to bad actors?
Bad actors become same Mike's